Welcome back, YouTube. Brother Kimo here with Reload Hawaii, and as the title says, Aloha oi a drone, or for those of you who don't know, goodbye, adios, arrivederci, sayonara. It's being packed up and ready to be sent back to where I got it from. Now, it's not because I didn't enjoy flying it or that I think it's a piece of garbage. I just kind of feel deep down, kind of in this area right here, that there's going to be some legislation passed very soon that's going to affect how current drone owners use them and maybe the ability for potential customers in the future to get them. So how's about this? Let's go over some final thoughts. I'll give you some final shots from the DJI Phantom 3 standard drone, and then I'll list those items for you that I think are going to be kind of relevant coming up in 2016. So let's get to it. Let's fly.
Oh my god! What are you doing? You're flying a $700 drone over water. Well, that just goes to show you guys, I just was severely confident that I would not dip this thing or that it would just fall out of the sky. That's my point number one about this thing. It's very easy to fly. So I just mentioned that it's $700. This past week we had CES, that's the Consumer Electronics Show 2016 in Las Vegas. DJI announced a new Phantom 3 drone called the 4K, which is $800. And what that's successfully done is dropped all of the current lineup prices down by about $200. So now the standard version that I'm flying, you can get for $500. $500, you get it easy to fly, 2.7K video. You can see the video here is pretty killer. Battery life about 20 minutes. Super good satellite GPS features for $500. This is on the east side of Oahu, Hawaii Kai. Check out the views. You know, a lot of people said they didn't like the remote that comes with the standard. I didn't have a problem with it. For I think beginners, the least amount, the number of buttons, the least amount of number of buttons, the better. You know, you don't get caught up in adding stuff on. So perfect for my standards. The only complaint I did have is I really wish it came with the larger mount so I could put a tablet on there. And that gimbal, man, super stable. It's pretty windy. Got some jet skis going on out there. Chee. Getting back to the GPS features though, the one that really put my mind at ease and why I was confident enough to fly it over the Pacific Ocean, that's the gun range that I shoot at, guys. Cocoa Head range there. Sitting near the Cocoa Head crater. The return to home feature. You know, that satellite GPS really, you know, if you feel like you're going to lose it, you just swipe over and that thing's going to go right back where it came from. I think the furthest it landed away from me was like 3 yards, but you still have control to bring it closer to you. Some recommendations: make sure you got enough battery so that if you're fighting against the wind, it has enough juice to get back so it doesn't land like on a roof or a tree or worse, in water. Or just don't fly in the wind. Here you got the trap and skeet part of the Cocoa Head range there. Another one that I wish I had the chance to do was the point of interest GPS feature. 2 action bays coming up to the upper left hand corner. Basically, like if you fly it over, like let's say I wanted to fly over the Statue of Liberty, which I know is hugely illegal, but you can tell it to, you fly right over it, back it off, and be 5-10 yards, and it will make a circle around it without you touching it. Check it out, guys. I'm shooting. That's the scenery that I deal with. Not that bad for a shooting range, outdoor shooting range. There's Cocoa Head Crater there. There's a trail that you're going to get to see in this shot here. And you can also do waypoint flying, which I thought was going to be a lot better, but the version that it switched to is not like the older version. You actually have to fly to each waypoint, hit record, fly to another waypoint, hit record, and then once you have all your points recorded, then it'll fly that way. Before, you just used to be able to go from point A to point B, and then it'll map it out. So I guess from legal reasons, they changed it to the new version. But anyway, you get all of this stuff here for $500. The question then, of course, becomes, well, Mr. Brother Kimo, why did you return it if it's such a great deal? Well, as I mentioned earlier in the intro, it's just kind of feeling of uneasiness, and I'm going to start with the 2014 National Park System outlawing drones. And like I said in my first video of the drone, I get it. You know, you don't want people, rookie flyers that have just got their brand new drone, flying it into Mount Rushmore and busting off a piece of one of our founding fathers over there. And there have been other incidents, like I mentioned in the other video, of people dumping it into a river and scaring wildlife and just irritating the hell out of people. You know, imagine you're trying to hang out national park, just you're there for the quiet, and all you hear is buzzing. There's that trail that everybody walks up on. If you're wondering what that stripe up the crater is, that's the trail. People exercise on that thing. I don't know how the hell people run up that thing. I see it all the time. I don't do the running. I don't even do the walking. I just look at it like I'm doing right now. Here comes the range coming to from the right side. You're going to see that it's sitting down itself kind of in a little crater. There it is right there on the bottom right. So that's the first thing. National Park System outlawing drones, banning them basically. And they haven't figured out quite how they're going to do that. That's Hanama Bay in the upper right hand corner for anybody that wants to come to Oahu and they want to snorkel in a nice safe environment. It kind of creates like a toilet bowl seat in there where you can kind of check out the reef and fish. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, FAA now, December 2015, has now required that everybody that owns a drone, Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Took this. This is what it's like in Hawaii. This is a mellow New Year's. It's like Skynet went crazy in Honolulu. So FAA says you got to register your drones, right? If it's above a certain weight and it costs a certain amount of money, you got to register it. I think it's like $5 for 3 years, but you can kind of see there's some sort of restrictions being put down there slowly. And seeing as the new 2016 legislative session is going in, I really wanted to see what was going to happen, because for me, there's a couple ways. Look at all the aerial fireworks, man. It's crazy. You can see all the smoke from the firecrackers and the fireworks going off over there. You know, I feel like there's going to be some sort of license process put into place sometime soon. And I kind of agree with that, because let's have a look at the restriction for flying in national parks. So I know a lot of you are saying, hey, well, why don't you just sneak it in? Because there's tons of people sneaking drones into national parks. Great example. Look this up when you're done watching this video. Look up Stairway to Heaven drone coverage. That's a hiking trail here in Hawaii that has been shut down, and it is highly illegal to go on that trail. People still do it. That's cool. But if you search that drone footage video, it's absolutely breathtaking. Now, that guy is on private property or trespassing on property that he's not supposed to be on. So as of right now, there is no body of law that says, hey, if you put up a video on YouTube and you're in a restricted area, there's nothing there that says you can be fined or held responsible for that. But in Australia, which their legal system is very similar to ours, there was a dude that was in a restricted area. He posted the videos on YouTube. I think he got slammed for like $3,000 or something like that. So, you know, precedence is there. It can happen. And, you know, for you to think that it can't happen would kind of be something that is not, you know, it's not recommended. So that could happen. Now, on the other half of it, they could say, hey, you know what? We're going to go through a licensing process, just like driving a car, right? Because we want to be able to, somebody's trying to shoot down my drone. What you doing, man? You know, we want to hold you fully liable in case you do crash it. So we're going to make you go through a licensing course. And I totally agree with that. You know, I would be totally down with paying a fee, taking a class, learning how to fly it. And if that will enable me to take it into national parks without having the fear of being penalized, I think that would be a fantastic idea. But that is so far down the road. And that's the thing. I don't think the national park system is going to come up with what they want to do with it. And even if they do, it's not going to have the structure to make a licensing process happen. That's why Pahu, for those of you in Hawaii right there, that's where all that aerial fireworks are going off over there. Whew. Crazy. You know, just a general feeling of, like, right now I'm flying at night here, right? You're not technically, the rules are you're not supposed to fly it at night. You're not supposed to fly it above 400 feet for FAA reasons. You're not supposed to fly it around power lines. I get it, but here I am. I'm flying at night. Could I be fined for this later on if they do come up with some kind of, law? Maybe. I don't know. That's the thing. There's this really that touchy feeling. Here's another thing I could be possibly held responsible for. I'm not standing on this property. My drone is flying over it, and it's taking footage of the rail system that they're laying down here. So there is bodies of law that say that a person's property extends a certain height above their property, and this might change that body of law. It totally might change it. And there's some power lines on the bottom right there. So it's kind of, I'm doing some stuff that's not too smart. Speaking of not too smart, here's another thing. So after I shot this video, one of the security guards was asking me, hey, how do you like that? I'm like, I think it's pretty cool. And he's like, oh man, we caught somebody like hovering around my condo with their drone. I think it's common sense that you're not supposed to do that stuff, but some guy over there thought it might be a fantastic idea to take his drone and fly it around the condo. See, there's no line, and people are going to continue to cross it, and that is why I think it's going to be, restricted. I also felt very uneasy flying it in most places. Like, I thought about flying it at the beach, but when I took it out and flew it at a park where there was a lot of people, it was kind of like I felt like I was spying on them. Not only did I attract a lot of attention, kids started gathering around, and, I'm a rookie flyer, right? I'm just trying to find some place to fly this thing, and here in Hawaii, airspace is limited. So everywhere I just felt like I was intruding on some place. So then the question is, well, why don't you just take it out to a place where there's fields? We're going to see this in the next shot. So then the question is, well, if I'm flying over a field, the field is owned by someone. We don't have like DNR lands like Vegas. You got those areas where you can go shooting. Man, look at that rail. So here it is, right? So again, I don't know if this is trespassing or not. There's no body of law that tells me that. But yeah, I can take it out to some place, but I don't know if I'm trespassing or not. I don't have like an empty desert to fly it over or anything like that. So for me, the decision is, the feeling is, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable flying it in places because I can't even find a place to fly it peacefully without attracting attention. You combine that with the uneasiness of what could be coming down for current drone users and potentially affecting new drone owners that are buying now. What are they going to have to do, right? There's a nice shot of the rail system. This is on the west side of the island. Breathtaking stuff. Rookie pilot taking awesome footage of just awesome scenery in Hawaii. And clouds floating there. But yeah, guys, those are my reasons why I returned it. It's not that I didn't love it. I absolutely love the idea of having one. I just don't like the idea of not knowing how I'm going to be able to use this in the very near future. So consider all of those things. If you're going to be a new drone owner and you're thinking about which one to get, I would recommend the DJI lineup if you're looking for something for $500 that's easy to fly. But also, I think you guys should consider all the points I brought up, because they could change statutory-wise, right? Or it could be a law that's passed throughout the great United States of America. Well, guys, that's been my review of the DJI Phantom 3 standard drone and the reasons why I loved it and the reasons why I decided to return it. As always, it's been a pleasure, and I will catch you later.